When Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce stopped at a red light in Kansas City and saw 12-year-old Liam selling flowers on the street corner, they had no idea what they were about to discover. But when Travis rolled down his window and learned why the boy was there, their Valentine's Day took an unexpected turn that would change everything. Sometimes the most beautiful love stories aren't just between two people. This is how one couple's Valentine's Day became about spreading love to someone who needed it most. March 2026, 4:15 p.m. Exactly 3 weeks ago today, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were driving through downtown Kansas City on Valentine's Day, heading to their dinner reservation at Stock Hill when their evening took an unexpected turn. It was 6:30 p.m. on February 14th, and the winter sun was already setting. Travis was behind the wheel of his truck, one hand on the steering wheel and the other holding Taylor's as they talked about their dinner plans and laughed about the ridiculous number of Valentine's gifts they'd already exchanged that morning. "I still can't believe you got me a custom Chiefs jersey with Mrs. Kelce on it," Taylor said, squeezing his hand. "I'm going with very sweet," Travis grinned. "Besides, you're the one who gave me a playlist called Songs for My Future Husband." They were stopped at a red light on Main Street when Travis noticed movement in his peripheral vision. On the corner, bundled up in an oversized winter coat, stood a boy who couldn't have been more than 12 years old. The kid had set up a makeshift flower stand using an overturned milk crate and a cardboard sign that read, "Fresh flowers, $5." His inventory consisted of roses, carnations, and mixed bouquets arranged in plastic buckets filled with water. "Look at that," Travis said, nodding toward the corner. "Kid's got a hustle going for Valentine's Day." Taylor followed his gaze and immediately felt her heart tug. The boy was clearly cold, bouncing from foot to keep warm, his breath visible in small puffs in the frigid air. His jeans had holes in the knees, and his sneakers looked worn. But what struck her most was his expression, determined, hopeful, but carrying a weight that seemed too heavy for someone his age. "Travis, pull over," Taylor said quietly. When the light turned green, he pulled into a nearby parking spot, and they both got out of the truck. As they approached, the boy's face lit up with professional excitement. "Hi there," he called out. "Happy Valentine's Day! I've got some beautiful flowers here if you're looking for something special." Travis smiled at the kid's sales pitch. "Hey, buddy, these look great. I'm Travis, and this is Taylor. What's your name?" "I'm Liam," the boy replied, extending his hand for a surprisingly firm handshake. Taylor knelt down to examine the flowers, impressed by their quality despite the basic setup. "These are beautiful, Liam. Did you arrange all of these yourself?" "Yes, ma'am. I get them from the wholesale market early in the morning and arrange them myself." Travis found himself curious. "So you do this often? The flower selling?" Liam's expression shifted slightly, becoming more guarded. "Yeah, pretty much every day after school and on weekends. Gotta make that money, you know?" Something in the boy's tone made Taylor look up. There was a heaviness to his words that didn't match his age, a weariness that spoke of responsibilities no child should carry. "That's impressive work ethic," she said gently. "What made you decide to get into the flower business?" Liam hesitated, then opened up. "My mom's been sick, really sick. She's got stage 3 breast cancer, and the treatments are expensive. Each chemo session costs about $3,000, and that's not counting all the other medications and doctor visits. We don't have insurance that covers everything, and my dad's not around anymore. So I figured I could help out, you know? Every little bit makes a difference." The words hit both Taylor and Travis like a physical blow. Here was this 12-year-old kid, standing on a street corner in the cold, trying to help pay for his mother's cancer treatment by selling flowers to strangers. Taylor felt her eyes immediately fill with tears, and she saw Travis's jaw tighten with emotion. "Liam," Travis said, his voice gentler than before. "That's really incredible of you to help your family like that. Your mom must be very proud." "She doesn't really know the full extent," Liam admitted. "She knows I sell flowers sometimes, but she doesn't know it specifically because of the medical bills. She's already worried about so much stuff, and I don't want her to feel bad that I'm out here, instead of playing video games, or whatever kids my age are supposed to be doing. Taylor and Travis exchanged a look that communicated everything without words. "Where do you live, Liam?" Taylor asked softly. "About a mile from here. We've got a little apartment over on Troost Avenue." Taylor stood up, her mind made up. "Liam, I want to buy all of your flowers." "All of them?" Liam's eyes widened. "That would be like $200 worth of flowers." "Perfect," Taylor said, already reaching for her purse. As Taylor counted out the money, she made a decision that would change everything. "Liam, would it be okay if we met your mom?" Liam looked surprised. "You want to meet my mom?" "If she's up for visitors," Taylor said. "We'd love to say hello." 20 minutes later, they were following Liam's directions to a modest apartment building on Troost Avenue. Liam had carefully loaded all of his remaining flowers into the back of Travis's truck, still stunned that he'd sold his entire inventory to two strangers. "She's probably resting," Liam warned as they climbed the stairs. "The chemo makes her really tired, especially on treatment days." He unlocked the door and called out, "Mom, I'm home, and I brought some people who wanted to meet you." The apartment was small but clean, with warm touches that made it feel like home despite limited resources. Family photos covered one wall, and there were fresh flowers in a mason jar on the kitchen table. Sarah Johnson appeared from the bedroom, wearing a soft headscarf and a cardigan that dwarfed her thin frame. She was clearly exhausted, but her eyes were bright and kind. "Liam, honey, what's going on?" she asked, then stopped short when she saw Taylor and Travis. "Mom, these are the people I was telling you about. They bought flowers from me today. This is Taylor and Travis." Sarah's hand went to her headscarf self-consciously. "Oh my goodness, I wasn't expecting company. Please excuse how I look." "You look beautiful," Taylor said sincerely. "We're sorry to intrude, but Liam told us about what your family is going through, and we wanted to meet the woman who raised such an incredible kid." Sarah's eyes filled with tears, and she looked at Liam with a mixture of pride and concern. "What exactly did you tell them, sweetheart?" "Just about the flowers, Mom, and maybe about your treatments." Sarah sighed, but not unkindly. "Liam, we've talked about this. You don't need to worry about grown-up problems." "But I can help," Liam said earnestly. "I want to help." Travis stepped forward. "Mrs. Johnson, your son is remarkable. But more than that, he's a kid who's been forced to grow up too fast because he loves you so much." "I am proud of him," Sarah said, her voice thick with emotion. "But he shouldn't have to be selling flowers on street corners. He should be playing with his friends and worrying about homework, not medical bills." "You're absolutely right," Taylor said, her voice taking on a decisive tone. "He shouldn't have to worry about that. And if it's okay with you, we'd like to help make sure he doesn't have to." Sarah looked confused. "I'm sorry, what do you mean?" Taylor and Travis looked at each other, having one of those silent conversations that couples develop over time. "Mrs. Johnson," Travis said carefully, "we'd like to help with your medical expenses. All of them." The room went completely silent. Sarah stared at them, processing what she'd just heard. The silence stretched until it became almost uncomfortable, filled with the weight of an offer that seemed too big to be real. "I'm sorry, I don't understand," she finally said, her voice barely above a whisper. "Your treatments, your medications, any other medical costs related to your care," Taylor explained gently. "We'd like to take care of all of it." But you don't even know us," Sarah whispered, sinking into the nearest chair. "We know enough," Travis said, his voice steady. "We know you're a mother who's fighting for her life, and you've got a son who loves you so much that he's standing on street corners in the cold trying to help pay for your treatment. That's all we need to know." Sarah put her hand over her mouth, tears streaming down her face. We can't accept something like that. It's too much." "Mom," Liam said quietly, moving to stand beside her chair. "Maybe we should listen to what they're saying." Taylor knelt down in front of Sarah's chair. "I know it's overwhelming, but Travis and I have been incredibly blessed in our lives and careers. We have more than we could ever need, and we believe that comes with a responsibility to help others when we can." "But there are so many people who need help," Sarah protested. "Why us?" "Because we met Liam," Travis said simply. "Because sometimes the universe puts exactly the right person in your path at exactly the right moment. and because no 12-year-old should have to choose between being a kid and helping save his mother's life. Sarah looked at her son, who was watching her with hopeful eyes. "There's more," Taylor said softly. "We'd also like to set up an education fund for Liam, for college or trade school or whatever path he chooses. A kid with his work ethic and heart deserves every opportunity." "I don't know what to say," Sarah whispered. "Say yes, Mom," Liam said quietly. "Please, let them help us." Over the next hour, they worked out the details. Travis contacted his financial advisor right there from Sarah's living room, while Taylor called her publicist to discuss media attention. "We'd prefer to keep this private," Sarah said. "I don't want to be anybody's charity case in the newspapers." "Absolutely," Taylor agreed. "This is between us." The practical arrangements were straightforward. Travis's team would work directly with Sarah's medical providers to ensure all current and future treatment costs were covered. The education fund for Liam would be administered through a trust. "There's one condition," Taylor said as they prepared to leave. "Liam, I want you to promise me that you'll focus on being a 12-year-old kid. Play video games, hang out with friends, worry about homework instead of hospital bills. Can you do that?" Liam nodded solemnly. "Yes, ma'am. But can I still sell flowers sometimes? I actually like doing it." "Of course," Travis laughed. "But sell them because you enjoy it, not because you have to." 3 days later, Sarah's oncologist called with news that her treatment plan had been fully funded by an anonymous donor. The relief in her voice when she called Taylor to say thank you was something Taylor would remember forever. 2 weeks after their initial meeting, Liam called Taylor with an update that made her cry happy tears. "I just wanted to thank you again," he said. "Not just for the money, but for letting me be a kid again. I played video games for 4 hours yesterday and didn't feel guilty about it." "That's exactly what we wanted to hear," Taylor laughed. "And my mom's doing so much better. The doctors say the treatment is working really well." "That's wonderful news, Liam." "There's one more thing," Liam said excitedly. "I'm still selling flowers, but now it's because I like it, not because I have to. And I'm donating half of what I make to other families at the cancer center who need help. Mom and I thought you'd like to know that." Taylor felt her throat tighten with emotion. "Liam, that's incredible. I learned it from you and Travis. You didn't have to help us, but you did. Now I want to help other people too." March 7th, 2026. 3 weeks have passed since that Valentine's Day encounter, and Sarah Johnson has responded remarkably well to her treatment. Her latest scans show significant tumor reduction, and her doctors are optimistic about her prognosis. Liam has returned to being a 12-year-old boy, playing with friends, focusing on school, and yes, still selling flowers, but now by choice rather than necessity. The education fund will ensure he can pursue whatever dreams he develops. The most beautiful outcome has been the creation of Liam's Light Foundation, which provides financial assistance to families dealing with serious illness where children have been forced to take on adult responsibilities. The foundation has already helped dozens of families across Kansas City and Nashville, each one assisted with the same discretion that Sarah requested, proving that one act of love can create ripples that touch countless lives. "Meeting Liam changed us," Travis told Taylor recently. "It reminded me that being blessed with success means we have the opportunity to be blessings for other people." Taylor nodded, thinking about that cold February evening when they'd stopped for a red light and ended up finding something more valuable than any Valentine's gift they could have bought each other. Sometimes love isn't just about the two people in a relationship. Sometimes love is about recognizing that your capacity to love extends far beyond yourselves, reaching towards strangers who need hope, children who need childhood, and mothers who need the chance to focus on healing. That Valentine's Day, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce discovered that the most romantic thing they could do wasn't buy each other expensive presents or eat at fancy restaurants. It was using their love as a foundation to build something bigger, a way to spread hope to families who needed it most. And in a small apartment on Troost Avenue, a 12-year-old boy got to be a kid again, while his mother got the gift of focusing entirely on getting well. That, they both agreed, was the most beautiful Valentine's story they'd ever been part of. What do you think about Taylor and Travis's decision to help Liam's family? Have you ever encountered someone whose story changed your perspective on your own blessings? Share your thoughts in the comments below, because sometimes the most meaningful moments happen when we're open to unexpected encounters with people who need our help. If this story reminded you that love grows when we share it with others, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about the moments that inspire us to be better human beings.